Welcome to day 71 of the 100 Line Last Defense Academy. We're currently trying to choose a route. I don't think we should do this route because it's the comedy route, so it's the happy one. And we're currently locked out of this route. Wait, no, we're not locked out of this. Free time, listen to Suri's announcement. We chose not to listen to it. And it's still part of the comedy route, I believe. This is the slasher route. And then we got stuck somewhere. Still locked. Reach story locked too. So I'm gonna assume I'm gonna save the comedy route for last because that one's for shit. It's saying jiggles. And as such, I believe it should be the final part that I play through. So for now, we will be doing the we will start from the beginning and do the, what's it called, route. Reveal your secret? No. This is probably going to cause Moko to die, is my guess. Since the only reason why Moko's alive is because we revealed our secret and we went to second to last Defense Academy to save her. So this should kill Moko. And will cause things to probably go the same way they did before. If I want to get everyone on my side, I should really tell them the truth, but it's not like they all believe me if I'm a time traveler wide way. Even if they did, that could come with its own problems. If you learn about the future, the history will change again. You can probably help the others avoid making the same mistakes as before without telling them everything. Of course, there's no way of knowing that if that's the right choice either. Being able to predict what will happen is a huge advantage. I didn't want to lose that, especially not if it could help me guide everyone towards a brighter future. With that in mind, I did the only thing I could. Why'd you climb a post and answer us? How do you know Ada was a traitor? Well, I lied to them. Last night I went to Ada's room to talk about him what we were going to do from here. I just happened to see his diary left open on his desk. He'd written his whole plan on it. Oh, that's not what you told. Anyways, that's how I found what Ada was up to. Everyone exchanged dubious glances. They clearly weren't sure whether to believe me or not. Well, it's not important how you got this information. What we really need to do is figure out if he's really a traitor or not. Hey, you're right. Let's go hear what Ado has to say about it. I agree with my dear sister. The others not in agreement, and they all started filing out of the war room. What? Don't you guys believe me? Suri ran after them, leaving just me and Hiruko. For some reason, she was looking at me with an odd, confused expression. Why? She muttered that single solitary word for herself, then left. Did she say? Why? Why's that? Well, whatever. I'd better go after the others myself. They said they were going to go talk to Ado. That means they're heading to the courtyard. So this is a bad ending. What is it? Judging from what's on the monitor, nothing seems out of the ordinary. A large monitor. Kako waved at the security camera the other day. Did anyone see that from here? East camera, all good. West camera, all good too. Oh, systems green. Heh. It sounded like a real operator there. I found Suri waiting for me in the hallway. I thought about it and realized there's no need for me to get involved. It's no skin off my nose if the others want to get out Tsuki's side of the story. What's he going to tell them? You're being tricked, Suri, and Takumi are lying to you? Even if he did say something like that, he's got no evidence to back it up. I, on the other hand, have footage of his sudden change in demeanor and everything he said last night. Let's talk to them if they want. You and I have other things to discuss. Let me guess. You want to know why I didn't tell the truth? That's right. I explained my thought process to Suri. If everyone found out what was coming, the future would change again. To maintain the advantage my foreknowledge gave me, I decided to keep them in the dark for now. Then you come back because you want to change the future, though? Yeah, but to a future where all of us survive. If I can't do that, there's no point in any of that. I want to be the light that guides us towards the future. In other words, your ultimate objective is for everyone to watch the final attack to get those smiles on their face, yes? Not exactly, but I couldn't care less about the final attack. But you had the part about everyone being there, right? So I just kept quiet and nodded. I like it. Your interest and mine match up perfectly. So what do you say we work together? I'll keep it a secret from the others that you came for the future. If it will help the special defense unit function more efficiently, I'm more than happy to practice a little deception. Thanks, I appreciate it. One more thing, how much do you know about our mission here exactly? And so I told Suri about how things went down during my original 100 days here. I told him more or less everything I knew. The only thing I left out was what I learned from Nozomi. The secrets she shared the first time were between her and me. Oh, I see, and that's all? Huh? Is that all? You mean there's more? What? No, of course not. You've already learned a crazy amount of stuff. That's enough, isn't it? Actually, there was something that was bothering me. Right, that's what you think the truth is. You've got it all wrong, though. Anyways, I'd better get going. I'll pretend like we never had this conversation. Sneaky, incognito, reliable, ethical, inside man. That's me. Surrey hurried away, looking more suspicious than sneaky. Do I really not know the whole truth yet? Was Ado right? Well, even if he was, it's no use asking him here. This version of him has only been here for 3 days. He doesn't know all the things he told me in the defense room back then. Still, though. Maybe I'll go talk to him anyways. Everyone else is probably there already. No, hey, Takumi. Ado fessed up already. He told us everything. Yeah, he said we looked like a bunch of freaky monsters to him. For me, that's actually a compliment. Practically a promotion. In fact, most of the time, I'm more on the level of something a monster would leave in its litter box. You're a monster poop? Well, that's interesting in a whole different way. His hatred of mankind seems to be the real deal at any rate. He even said we should all be destroyed. Don't lines up with what you and Suri told us. What are you going to do with him now? Chuck him in a barrel of used needles and see what he catches? What do you think we should do, Hiruko? Oh yes, you've been awfully quiet today. Miss Shizuhara, something on your mind? No, not really. Hiruko's eyes darted towards me, almost like she was watching me to see how I'd handle all of this. I'll go along with whatever you say, Mistress Hiruko. Would you like his appendix? I'll bring it to you on a silver platter. Why just the appendix? I'll leave the decision to Takumi. Huh? You're the one who stopped Ado last night. You could have killed him, but you didn't. I can only assume you had a good reason for sparing him. Honestly, I didn't think I did. It just didn't feel right to kill another human being in cold blood. I don't know, though. Was that all there was to it? I know an insignificant pile of monster poo like me has no right to weigh in on this, but I think we should let Ado live too. He seems really smart, so if we play our cards right, he might be useful to us. We gotta respect life too. Even soup stocks carry souls of the veggies used to make it. I have no idea what you're talking about. We're agreed to let Ado live then. He shouldn't be a threat so long as he stays in the cage. It's got some kind of weird tech to negate his powers. So I don't get to rid out his appendix? If this was a killing game, he'd be the perfect candidate for the first murder victim. The matter was settled. Ado would be kept in his cage in the courtyard from now on. As others left, no one spared a word for the prisoner himself. All they gave him was brief layers of contempt. Kimmy, you did come here from the future, didn't you? You seem intent on hiding now. Well, that's what's going on here, isn't it? You're keeping the secret from others. It's okay. You don't have to explain why. I can figure out that part out for myself. Unlike the rest of them, I'm not an idiot. Did they tell you my story about reading your plans from your diary? Oh yes, I could tell right away you made up some excuse. So he went along with it. I told him that I really did keep a diary and I'd written down my plan to kill Suri in it. I played the part perfectly if I do say so myself. Why though? What's your angle? What, indeed. Maybe I didn't want to let them on the truth. What really happened that night is a secret between you and me now. Technically, Suri and the creature wreathed in flames know about it too, but still. In other words, he saw an opportunity and took it. He held on to this information until he could use it for his advantage. Speaking of that thing made of undying flames, stop right there. I don't have to tell you anything. I'm asking the questions here. The you I found in the future said you learned the truth about this war, a truth that not even I knew. Do you have any idea what that could have meant? I'm not the same person, you know. In that timeline, I'm as close as you are. Not that I wouldn't like to know why humanity is forging such an abhorrent war. Of course, you could tell me that yourself, couldn't you? I left without saying any more. I looked back just once. Ado was watching me intently, his eyes alight with intelligence and malice. That afternoon, after lunch, we made our way to the war room to speak to Suri. Never did get a chance to get you to spill the beans about the truth this morning. You are really going to tell us, aren't you? When we asked yesterday, you said it wasn't something you could decide on your own, which means there's someone above you calling the shots, right? Yeah, but don't sweat it. I got permission. I'll tell you everything. All right then. No time like the present, say. Go and tell us what's going on here. Suri nodded and began his explanation. None of it was new information to me, though. It was the same stuff I learned about my first 100 days. World Death, Crypto Globe, the Exodus Project, the Artificial Satellite, the Moy made of undying flames in his physical body in the defense room, the existence of second to last defense academy and the 5 other fighters there. It felt so familiar. There was nothing there to surprise or unnerve me. Everyone else was just as shocked as I expected, though, to be honest. When it was all done, they stood there dumbfounded, trying in vain to take it all in. By the time Suri had finished his explanation, the whole day had passed us by. So what exactly does this mean for all of us? Weren't you listening? We're about to hold a killing game, duh. Nobody said anything about that. In other words, we need to defend the school for the next 97 days. When we do that, the missiles that the baby has been charged up will be launched. One final attack to wipe out all remaining life, including the invaders. And that will stop world death once and for all. It's basically like winning a killing game in a worldwide MMO scale. But we ain't going to get caught up in it ourselves. Right, because before the attack, we'll board an escape pod and take off to outer space. Then we'll join the rest of humanity back on the artificial satellite. I knew you guys would get it. How could you not, when I explained it so well? For some reason, Hiruko remained quiet throughout all of this. She refused to even make eye contact with any of us. It seems like she was thinking hard about something. And the explanation has helped elevate your will to fight to a whole new level, am I right? Hell yeah, I'm ready for this. Let's kill a whole bunch of invaders. Yeah, you've convinced me. If it means making back to the satellite alive, then I'm in. I'll give it my best shot. I might need a couple of barf bags though. I'll fight too. I'll do whatever it takes to protect my dear brother. What? But it's sister dearest. Don't try to stop me. You can say what you want, but mine's made up. I don't think I've heard you speak so forcefully. I guess that's it then. How about you, Shoma? Honestly, I don't think a festering dumb beetle like me will be of any real use. But I felt this weird surge of power pulsing through my body last night. I feel like I've ascended to the level of, I don't know, a festering stag beetle. Yeah, that man. That's the spirit. Takumi, Hiruko, you guys have been fighting right from the start, so I guess there's no point in asking you, huh? Well, we fight it with a full team in our next defensive battle then. Seems that way. Let's all work together and wipe out those rotten invaders. Oh yeah, I'm really feeling it now. Come on, let's do a motivation cheer to celebrate all together now. Special Defense Unit, best in the world, indestructible and undefeated. Never lose, never yield. Special Defense Unit, fight on. Unfortunately, or perhaps fortunately, I did get caught up in the pep rally mood Surya had going on. In my last timeline, Gaku, Tsubasa, Shoma, and the twins hadn't made up their minds to fight until much later. Had hearing the truth really motivated them that much, or did their sudden boost in power have more to do with it, like in Shoma's case? Was it juiced up cryptoglobin flowing through the veins, giving them more confidence than before? Either way, I was grateful that I wouldn't have to convince them to fight all over again. At the same time, though, this could mean that history would change again. Deviating from the future, I knew even more. When I thought of it that way, I couldn't help feeling uneasy. I felt an intense gaze on me. I looked around and locked eyes with Hiruko. She was looking right back at me, also with a weirdly uneasy look on her face. So we're in a bad ending timeline too. The meeting in the war room came to a close. After a somber late dinner, the others decided to turn in for a night. I did the same and returned to my room. I lay down on my bed just to space out for a while, but then... Hiruko, Shizuhara. Hiruko, what's up? I want to ask you about something. Oh, what is it? After we spoke to Edo in the courtyard, I went back to his room. I searched it from end to end, but I didn't find any diary. You've been lying to us, haven't you? Huh, Lee? I don't know what you're talking about. You're from the future. You traveled back in time somehow when you ended up here. That's how you really knew what Edo was up to. Am I wrong? Being confronted with the truth so abruptly threw me for a loop. My face tensed up and my palms began to sweat. How could you possibly know that? I realized too late I shouldn't have said that. I was practically admitting she was right. Hiruko must have realized it too, although in her case she seemed to relax a little. I thought so. Well then, that's all I wanted to know. I'll be going now. Hey, come back. Tell me what this is all about. I knew you were acting so weirdly. Ever since yesterday when I lied to the others, actually. When they all left, you stayed behind, and you asked why. You didn't look happy either. What do you mean by that? How much do you know anyways? Hiruko didn't answer. She just looked away. Her brows were furrowed, and she was biting her lip in thought. We stood there in silence for a while until she gave a spot and spoke up again. Let me sleep on it. I'll tell you everything tomorrow if I don't shift my mind before then. You will? Yes. But I'll tell you one thing right now, too. In fact, keeping your time travel secret from the others was probably the right choice. Same goes for Nakio and Edo. Huh? Until tomorrow, then. With that, Hiruko left the room, leaving me alone in confusion and angst. Fuck, is this the good timeline? Now that you had your breakfast, I have two very important announcements to make. Announcements? First of all, I've decided to give you the run of the school. Every classroom is now unlocked. I originally planned to open them up little by little, but I was really touched by your show of determination yesterday. Consider this your reward. Awesome. Dibs on first try in the guillotine room. Whatever that is, we don't have one here. What about second announcement? In order to make you more efficient, you need a team leader. The invaders have commanders, so we should have one too. And the position goes to... Seriously, you want me to... No, said anything yet. Yeah, besides, it's Samino. Huh? Me? You exposed the traitor in our midst and saved your commanding officer from a terrible fate. You've also demonstrated your ability to rally others behind you. Your personality makes you a perfect candidate, too. What do you guys think? Any objections? I think it's a good idea. Yeah, I'm fine with it. I'll cast my vote for Takumi too. Although in my case, it'd probably only be worth 0.000000001% of a normal vote. It's always the Red Ranger that leads the team in those hero shows. Takumi's got red hair, so he should do fine. My dear sister and I dress in red too, but Mr. Sumino's probably the better choice. I had a vision that this would happen. Takumi will lead us towards a brighter future. Fine, if that's how you feel, I'll step down and let Takumi take over. I'm more of the cool outsider type anyways. How about you, Shizuhara? Hiruko took a moment to think before answering. I have no reason to oppose this decision. Good enough for me. Takumi Sumino, I hereby confer you the position of captain of the Special Defense Unit. I expect you to help your team members grow and lead them all towards a spectacular victory. What was I supposed to say? Thanks, but no thanks? I don't think anyone would have let me weasel out of it like that. Instead, I resigned myself to the inevitable and nodded. Yeah, okay, I'll do my best. I mumbled a half-assed acceptance. Everyone said things like, "Nice to meet you, Captain," or "Don't let us down, Captain." I think they were just teasing me, though. After a few slaps on the back, they filed out of the cafeteria. Last to leave was Hiroko. I hurried over to her before she could get out the door. "Hiroko, wait. What is it? What do you think it is? We're supposed to talk. You told me what you've been hiding today." "I don't remember making any such promise." "What?" "I said I'll tell you everything if I didn't change my mind. I thought about it last night. Unfortunately for you, I did change my mind. You gotta be kidding me. I have never kid anyone in my entire life." Hiroko pushed her glasses up to the bridge of her nose for emphasis. She looked tired out somehow. "I thought you were on my side." "Your side?" "You didn't object when Suri made us captain. That doesn't mean I approve of you. I just thought that if you were leading the team, it would make things easier for me. Much easier to have a figurehead in place so no one will bother me." "A figurehead? In other words, you're a puppet leader. You could have just taken the position yourself." "I'm not really the type to take the lead. Besides, I've seen this play out before. What are you talking about?" "Forget about what I said last night. Just move forward and do whatever you believe is best." With that, Hiroko turned and left. The clacking of her heels echoed through the cafeteria, down the halls, and eventually faded away completely. I couldn't stop thinking about what Hiroko said. How did she know I traveled back in time? She told me to forget about it all, but that was easier said than done. I couldn't focus on anything else. My mind kept drifting to this mystery. I needed to get the truth out of her. That should be a way to convince her to tell me what she knew. Having decided that, I wandered all around the school looking for her. By the time I actually found her, the sun had already started to sink below the western horizon. I found Hiroko in the war room. Suri was there too. They hadn't noticed me, but they seemed to be talking about something serious. I hid behind a nearby pillar, hoping I could listen on them. And then I couldn't hear a thing. If those two were talking in secret, it must be about something important. What were they keeping away from me? I was getting more and more curious. I put my hands around my ear, but all I could hear was the pulse and electronic buzzing of the nearby machinery. Damn it. All I could do was watch them as they carried on their mysterious conversation. I must have stood there for like a pretty long time. Eventually, Suri handed Hiroko something. It was small and fit into the palm of her hand. I could make out what it was from where I was standing. Did she just get some kind of allowance from him? No, it couldn't be. Whatever it was, Hiroko slipped it into her clothes and left the war room. Suri followed suit a little while after. So Hiroko has the bombs all that time and still didn't find out anything useful. What could Hiroko have been talking to Suri about? And what was that thing he gave her? The detonation switch. I should go after her. I still have so many questions that need answering. It was past 11 by the time I headed back to the roof. I was still reluctant to give up and go to bed though, so I decided to knock on Hiroko's door instead, but when I got there, there was no one there. It was like Hiroko had disappeared completely. This is ridiculous. Just where did she go? As I stood there, wondering to myself, I heard a noise. It sounded like propellers. I looked over the railing and down into the square. There, hovering near the wall of fires, was a drone with a fire extinguisher mounted to it. Next to it was Hiroko. Hiroko activated the extinguisher and created a hole in the wall. She stepped through it and out into the night. Where's she running off to now? I scrambled down the stairs, hoping it wasn't too late to catch her. I arrived at the entrance hall, and sure enough, one of the fire extinguishers was missing. I grabbed the remaining one and headed outside. Once I was past the wall, I walked around for a while, but I didn't see any trace of Hiroko. I guess I shouldn't be surprised. She could be out there anywhere. But now that I come this far, I just couldn't give up. Between what she told me last night and her conversation with Suri today, Hiroko has a lot of explaining to do. I want to know why she was wandering off at school grounds at night too. Just what is she up to? Still glanced around and made my way down a narrow alley between two crumbling old buildings. That's when I saw it. Well, as I was turning a corner, I saw a sight of something. They were a pretty long distance away. It was dark too. I couldn't make out any details, but even from behind, it was obvious enough who it was. Hiroko. She was standing outside the entrance to a building on the edge of the town ruins. It didn't look like a house. It was probably some kind of office or facility. She looked around her one last time before slipping in and disappearing from view. I hurried after her. What is this place? I guess I'll head inside too. I went through the entrance gate and headed towards the main building. I opened the door as slowly as quietly as I could and went inside. Right away, I noticed that one of the doors in the hall was slightly ajar and light was spilling out from the room beyond. I crept closer and peered through. What the? My hands shot up to cover my mouth. I almost said that out loud. Hiroko was there all right, but she hadn't noticed I was there yet. I noticed some kind of large machine casing a few feet away from the door. I darted in and stuck behind it. Phew. With a sigh of relief, I took another look around the room. It was packed with weird-looking machinery, most of it rusted or broken. Maybe this was a research lab once. Doesn't look like it's been used in a very long time. I put my head on my hiding place to see what Hiroko was doing. She seemed to be operating one of the machines, pausing every now and then to adjust her glasses. That should do it. Now. She walked over to a giant locker and pulled the door open. Inside they were all kind of bodysuits, like what deep-sea divers and astronauts would wear. There were several hanging in that locker, more than 10 at least. There were helmets too, old-timey, heavy-looking ones. Hiroko grabbed a suit and helmet and took them out of the locker. Wait, she's not going to change right here, is she? Without being here when she undressed, got me really excited, really nervous. Luckily or unluckily, she didn't actually strip down, but put the suit on over her clothes. There, ready to go. I'm running out of time. If I don't make the leap soon, did she see the leap? What was that all about? At the back of the room was a control console of some kind. Hiroko walked up to it and brought her fist down on a big red button. That done, she stepped into the circular platform next to the machine. She got to the center of it, stood there, then particles of light started to fill the space around her. Huh? Wait a minute. What the heck? I had no idea what was going on, but my pulse was racing. My mind was drawing a complete break. There was just one thought in my head, one thought and a rising sense of panic. Hiroko was going to disappear. I'd never see her again. I couldn't let that happen. Huh? Oh, Takumi just died. I'm not really sure what happened after that, but when I came to, I was on the floor and Hiroko was holding me in her arms. At least I think it was Hiroko. She had a helmet on, so I couldn't tell for sure. The next moment, though, the answer was question. Takumi, are you alright? Get a hold of yourself. I must have muffled, but it was mistakenly Hiroko's voice. I felt a wave of relief wash over me, followed by a sharp pain. What were you thinking, jumping in without a suit on? Leap suit. Is that the thing you're wearing called? If you perform a parallel leap without one of these, it puts an incredible amount of strain on your body. What's a parallel leap? She didn't answer. Because of the helmet, I couldn't see what kind of expression she had on her face. What are you doing here? I followed you. I had some questions for you, about 100 of them at least. Although now it's more like 200. At least your head wasn't seriously damaged. How's the rest of your body? It feels numb. I don't think I can move. I feel really cold and nauseous too. If you're going to throw up, do it after I leave. Leave? Where are you going? Back to the academy. You're going back already? Why? I don't have time to explain. It's already past midnight. Midnight? What day is it now then? Day 5 technically. Late night, day 4. Or early morning, day 5, huh? What does it matter? Are you trying to waste my time? How'd you go? You stay here and rest. I mean it. Don't you dare move from the spot. Hiroko stepped away from me and made her way to a different nearby locker. Not the locker she'd taken the leap suit from. A different one. She opened the door, revealing 2 drones, both fitted with fire extinguishers. Oh, 2? That didn't seem right. If Hiroko used one of them to leave the school, where'd the other one come from? Not the extinguisher I used outside, leaning against the wall. It couldn't have ended up in here somehow, could it? I was still trying to make out sense of everything. Hiroko grabbed one of the machines and rushed to the door, still wearing her leap suit. After lying there for a while, the feeling started coming back to my legs. Pretty soon I was able to move around again and got to my feet. I'm still in the same place as before, right? It looks the same anyways. What happened when I dove into that circle of light after Hiroko? And how long did I black out for? It didn't feel like very long, a minute most. What could have happened during that minute? No use thinking about it now. I should go after her. The pain hadn't completely faded yet, but I pushed through it and made my way outside. He doesn't trust her, so... Yeah, that's fair. I knew where Hiroko was going. She told me herself back to the academy. I still didn't get why, though. Hiroko left the school in the dead of night, went to a weird research lab, and then came back to school again. What was she doing? What was it all for? I kept pondering these questions and then made my way back to the ruins. Eventually, I came inside a familiar territory. Last Defense Academy, standing there is just like I left it. Now, where's Hiroko? Hiroko. Second floor hallway. Morgue. Isn't this classroom usually locked? Looks like I can get inside now. Huh? What is this? Several desks were lined up in a strange classroom, and there was someone lying on top of one of them. Something vaguely human-shaped under a white sheet. I slowly walked up to it, grabbed the white sheet, and pulled it off. What the? Ado? No, it can't be. He was shut up in his cage. There's no way he could have gotten out. So then how? How did he get here? And why is he dead? Before I could do anything. A loud noise erupted from somewhere else in the school. It sounded like it came from above me. Confused and bewildered, I rushed into the hall and ended up the stairs. When I got to the 3rd floor, I heard the noise again. It's coming from the infirmary. So this is Takumi fucks up the timeline route, huh? Somebody was collapsed in one corner of the room. She still had a weird suit on, but her helmet was gone now. I could see her face clearly. It was Hiroku. I scrambled over to her and propped her up, just like she'd done for me earlier. Hiroku, are you okay? Hang up in there. I took her shoulders and her eyelids fluttered open. When she saw me, her eyes went wide with shock, and for some reason she kicked me in the stomach. I went flying like a ragdoll. I smacked into the corpse recovery drone and fell to the ground with a clatter. And that wasn't the end of it either. When I looked up, Hiroku was standing right there in front of me. She was reaching down and began squeezing my neck hard. It felt like she was trying to wrench my head clean off. What are you doing? Please stop it. I tried to pry her hands off me, but I wasn't strong enough. Whatever happened to the research facility had taken too much of a toll on me. Please, Hiroku. At this rate, I'm really going to... I never got to finish. Next moment, I blacked out completely. I don't know how much time passed after that. My consciousness drifted back at some point for a little while. Everything was still kind of fuzzy, though. My vision was blurry. It was hard to make out what was going on around me. But I had a vague impression of someone standing in front of the Rivomatic. It was Hiroku. There's a corpse recovery drone on the floor next to her. With someone inside, I couldn't really tell from where I was. I tried to sit up, but in the state I was, I couldn't even lift my head up. So I just lay there and watched. The last thing I saw was the recovery drone getting sucked into the larger machine, and then everything went black again. The next time I woke up, it was a lot more sudden and more violent. I was back on my feet, forced to stand with my hands held behind my back. Don't tell me was that old, it's just an act people do. Tell me I have a talent for inhabiting a character. You sure fooled me. It was me, I was Hiroku all along. Yeah, I know. Looked over to the Rivomatic, it was empty and the drone was from before there was gone. I only wish this was played, then maybe we could rewrite the script so I wouldn't have to make such a terrible mistake. A mistake? I couldn't save him. I had no idea what Hiroku was talking about, but it felt like it'd be a bad idea to press onto her. Her voice was small and fragile in a way I hadn't heard before. Well, we're done here. Let's get going. Huh? We're going back to where we belong. Wait, Hiroku, what's going on? Why are we going back there? You mean the lab? That's some kind of research facility, right? Just what kind of research do they do here? Hiroku wouldn't answer me. She just kept going, leaving me no choice but to follow her. Hiroku, please tell me what's going on. I'm so lost. It's bad enough that we're in this weird lab, but also I saw a body back at the school. A body? Yeah, it was Ado. I saw him with my own two eyes. He was in the classroom on the second floor. He'd been drained. He was just a dried up husk. I see. Is that all? Aren't you shocked by that? Not especially. Seriously? Hiroku turned away, shutting down any further conversation. She began flipping switches and turning dials on different pieces of machinery around the room. I trailed after her, asking question after question, but she ignored me and just kept on working. Then she opened up the large locker. Put this on. That was the most she said to me in a while. Well, how do you like it? You call this a leap suit, right? See how it adjusted to fit your height? That's one of its special functions. It will automatically shrink or stretch to fit the dimensions of whoever wears it. It's not like I'm insecure about being short or anything. Well, we should get going. Hiroku stepped away from me. She pressed on the red button on the control console and stepped onto the round platform like I'd seen her do before. Come on, hurry. She barked an order at me and instinctively complied. It'll start any moment now. What will? 3, 2, 1. It's done. Huh? Let's head back. What? Back where? Are we going to go through this every time? Where else would we be going back to? Hiroku stepped off the platform and hung her leap suit in the locker. I did the same. Still totally lost that. What was going on? Don't tell anyone what you see today. You understand what will happen if you do, right? Behind her glasses, her eyes were filled with murderous intent. I gulped nervously and nodded. It was around 4 a.m. when we got back to the school and still dark. My list of questions I wanted to ask Hiroku was fast approaching 300, but I didn't have the energy to bring any of them up. My body got put through the ringer at the lab, then kicked and strangled shortly after. It was no wonder I was exhausted. She still hadn't apologized for any of that. Oh well, only one thing to do now. I went back to my room and fell onto my bed. All of a sudden, I felt more tired than I had in a long time. I allowed myself to relax and soon fell into a deep, deep sleep. I woke up and went outside, realizing I must have slept away most of the day. I didn't feel so tired or beaten up anymore, but my head was still as fuzzy as ever. Nothing so much from fatigue as the 300 or so questions swirling around in my mind. From now, I decided to focus on just one of them. I knew which one. Ado. Oh, so this Ado discovers time travel. Well, dimension hopping. Goes to the other timeline, gets instantly killed. Huh? Ado, what's the matter? You look like you've seen a ghost. Not that I've seen a ghost myself, or how you look when you've seen one. When you think about it, isn't that expression a little problematic? I mean, it's hardly showing proper respect towards the dead. You're alive. In response to my comment, Ado put his hands on the bar on his cage and pushed them against him. Last time I checked, yes. If I were a ghost, I would have phased out of here a long time ago. What's going on here? I saw his body last night, didn't I? Seriously, Takumi, what's wrong? Did you come across a corpse that looked like me or something? He's quick on the uptake, as always. I barely said anything. He's figured it out already. You're not believe it, but I know how to keep a secret. I still haven't told anyone about you coming from the future. If you need someone to talk to confidentially, I'm always here. Come on, tell me what happened. I knew better than to take that risk. I left without saying another word. That night, the others ate a sumptuous dinner in the cafeteria before heading back to their rooms. I struggled to force down a few spoonfuls of rice porridge. I put it aside and stopped Hiroku before she could leave. Hiroku, you can have a minute? I really need to talk to you. This is the classroom that's always locked. Yeah, I asked Suri to unlock it for us. Why did you bring me here? This is where I found it. This is where I saw Ado's body last night. He had all the blood drained out and someone must have absorbed his cryptogluon. But then when I checked again today, the body wasn't there. But that's not the weirdest part. Ado's still alive. He's in his cage like normal. I even spoke to him. And I got to thinking, and this has something to do with that weird lab, doesn't it? You mentioned something called a parallel leap before. That's what we did when we used the machine, right? I still don't really get it, but I get the feeling that's why there's so much that doesn't seem to add up. Hiroku was silent. It wasn't all that was surprising. The way she was acting, I didn't expect her to tell me everything like that, but I wasn't giving up. Instead, I ushered her into another room. Why here? You spoke with Suri about something important here yesterday. You were spying on us? I'd prefer it if you didn't put it like that. Either way, it's not a pleasant habit. When you finished talking, Suri gave you something. What was it? Just something, some dried kelp in case I got hungry. Okay, now tell me the truth. Again, no answer. I sighed, shook my head, and moved on. What the little tour of the school you're taking me on? This will be our last stop. Last night I rushed in here and found you passed out in the corner. I had no idea what was happening, and things only got more confusing from there. When you woke up, you kicked me in the stomach and tried to strangle me. Maybe you can explain that? You still haven't apologized for that, you know? I didn't have a lot of choice in the matter. It was a regrettable accident. An accident that nearly killed me. Fine, I'm sorry. You got your apology. Can I go now? Hiroku was already turning to leave, but I grabbed her arm before she could go any further. I'm not done yet. After you nearly came to, I came to. After you nearly killed me, I came to for a moment. And then I saw you in front of the revival-matic with a drone, corpse drone and recovery drone. Who was inside the drone, Hiroku? You said I couldn't save him. Him? Who? Were you talking about whoever was in the recovery drone? Was that all you wanted to ask? Just one more thing. And this one's the most important of all. You already know that time travel exists. You knew I came from the future. How? Hiroku pushed aside a lock of her long, silky hair and looked away. She was clearly nervous. She was biting her lip, fiddling with her choker, tapping her heels. Finally, she made up her mind and spoke up. All right, I'll tell you. You will? On one condition. Starting from tomorrow, I'm going to have a lot to do. I might struggle to get it all done by myself, so I'll need someone to help with it. You mean me? Naturally. What exactly do you want to make me do? Just do as you're told. Follow my instructions and don't ask questions. I need you to be able to work in peace. I need to be able to work in peace without stopping to explain things to you. Provided this gets done, I'll answer all your questions on the evening of day 9. You really will this time, right? You're not going to change your mind again. I give you my word, just so long as you hold up your end of the bargain. Hiroku looked me dead in the eyes. I met her gaze without flinching. Okay, you got yourself a deal. Okay, I'm gonna save, and then I'm gonna